Dun 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 dun. What are you doing? I hate editing. I hate it. I hate editing so much. MKUltra. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Talk Tuesdays. I'm JC. Gross. Not really sure how to begin this video. Wow. Welcome to Talk Tuesdays, where we're going to talk about conspiracy theories, paranormal stuff, possibly story times, endless array of options, and anything that you guys want to hear and anything I want to talk about. Conceited much? Anything that you guys want to hear, let me know down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys want to know. Girl, I will tell you. I will pour the wisdom on you. I will spit the knowledge out. I got the idea of Talk Tuesdays from Kendall Ray. She has Talk Tuesdays, and I was like, girl, credit to Kendall Ray for Talk Tuesdays. Just wanted to... yeah. As some of you might know, I was going to do the Mandela effect today because I had a new Mandela effect that I was like super excited about. No other YouTuber had done it. I was like, yes, I have finally discovered a Mandela effect. It's not a Mandela effect. We don't get to be shook. Dang it! Since my Mandela effect video wasn't gonna work out because it wasn't a Mandela effect, I decided to do MKUltra. MKUltra is just a conspiracy theory inside of a conspiracy theory. It's not even really a conspiracy theory because it's real. Like, it is real, girl. So my inspiration to talk about MKUltra was Stranger Things because, girl, I'm obsessed. Obsessed. Stranger Things was so good, but the reason I wanted to talk about MKUltra and what got me into MKUltra was Stranger Things because there's a young girl that was part of MKUltra in the show, not in real life. Other names for MKUltra were Project Monarch and Project Creep. Shook. That's so scary that they named it Project Creep. Girl, that's so scary. Because the program was found out about in 1973, the director of the CIA, Richard Helms, destroyed most of the files. That's why there are so many conspiracy theories on it, because we know this, and this. We're missing this because good old Richard Helms deleted it. Good job. Great job. You've left us all in the dark. So now we have to fill it in with conspiracy theories. Anyway, girl. I wanted to make a disclaimer. I fully respect the families and the people involved. While some of the material is definitely true, we don't know everything that happened and we don't know what's fact and what's fiction. I'm just gonna put this out there. I'm not spitting truth. Not everything that's gonna come out of my mouth is actual fact. I will say if it's actual fact. Some of this is conspiracy theory. Some of this is real. I'll let you know which is which. Look at all my notes in purple pen. Yeah. Probably shouldn't have done that. To jump right in, MKUltra was a secret government program active from 1953 to 1973. That's 20 years. The secret government program went on for 20 years. 20 years of this stuff. 20 years. Girl. It was composed of illegal experiments by the CIA. English. Done by the CIA on U.S. citizens. When people find out, they were like, oh, hey, we're just creating truth serum. Nothing to see here. The government thought that Russia and China had already had mind control and they had futuristic weaponry, and apparently we were just trying to catch up. According to them. Nobody knows if Russia and China really did. It was probably just the scapegoat for the government. What I think happened was, it's about to get really morbid. What I think happened during the Holocaust, there were a ton of experiments done on the victims. They experimented on twins, pregnant women. They just wanted to test the limits of the body. And I think that the U.S. government got the ideas from that. Pretty morbid. That's why I think that MKUltra started. It was shortly after the Holocaust. Kind of makes sense. MKUltra was launched by the CIA in 1953. The main idea was to test out mind control techniques as a way of obtaining top secret information from enemy captives, as well as to create the perfect soldier who was just basically like a war machine. Gonna put this out there. I've read that this is true, and I've also read that this is false. I don't know. But apparently they wanted to make the perfect soldier that would do whatever they told it to do. They also wanted to enhance the ability to withstand torture, so top secret information from the United States would stay top secret. It's kind of like the Winter Soldier. They'd have like a code word, and the soldier would go berserk and would just do anything that they asked him to do, like kill anyone, go anywhere, just do anything that the government asked the soldier to do. That is so sketchy. Most of the sketchy stuff happened between 1953 and 1964 because that was when the project was super under wraps and nobody really knew about it besides the people involved. There was an estimated 185 people working with the CIA that weren't part of the CIA. If that makes sense? Like, people who weren't in the CIA were helping out with this project. So most of the test subjects were non-consensual United States citizens. They were subjected to torture techniques. These techniques included sensory deprivation, hypnosis, and possibly sexual abuse. Sensory deprivation tanks are real. You lose all your senses. You just go into this black nothingness. There have been rumors that sensory deprivation tanks have let people talk to God, have let people talk to dead people, but various mind-altering drugs were administered to human test subjects. They had intent on inflicting temporary brain damage, physical disablement, and possibly even decreased or increased aging. They had a lot of tests on sleep deprivation. They would make people stay up for extreme amounts of time and then see how much they could be controlled and what all they would do that they wouldn't normally do. They would erase people's minds by producing amnesia, so they wouldn't remember the experiments that were done on them. A lot of times there were no medical personnel on hand, so there were no medical personnel to administer the drugs. Or if there was a situation, there was no medical personnel to be like, "Hey girl, you okay? What were you thinking?" Not only are you giving people drugs, like these people don't know that they're getting drugged, but you're not gonna have like medical personnel in case like things go haywire? Excuse you? I really hope the government doesn't come kill me. Please don't kill me. I'm just a small town 17-year-old girl just kind of talking about what you do in your free time. Oops. The test subjects were United States citizens, and they included children, men, and women. Anyone could have been tested on. They were just thrown in the pile. CIA employees even fell subject to the tests. The CIA would slip LSD and other hallucinogenic drugs into their employees' morning coffee. They would let them, trip on acid, and they would see what would happen. They would ramble about monsters. Stranger Things, is that you? A lot of the CIA employees had bad trips, and one employee even committed suicide by jumping out of a 13-story hotel room window after being slipped LSD. 86 universities and institutions were in on the experiments, but a lot of the test subjects were terminal cancer patients. And these cancer patients came from 12 of the hospitals that were involved. This is really morbid. The experiments on the cancer patients were typically the most extreme experiments because the CIA was using terminal cancer patients, and the CIA knew that the tests could be lethal. The most famous death from these experiments was Frank Olsen's death. So Frank Olsen was a researcher for the U.S. Army and for the CIA. He was researching biological warfare. A lot of people think that Frank Olsen saw the CIA doing a lot of sketchy stuff while he was working for them, and he decided he was going to quit. Frank Olsen went to a conference to discuss what the CIA was doing, biological warfare, probably a lot of other stuff, with 9 other scientists. And the CIA drugged them. The CIA slipped them LSD. The CIA waited until the drinks were consumed before they said, "What's good? We just spiked you with LSD." Girl. The CIA spiked them with LSD, let them drink all of it, and then said, "Hey, by the way, you've been drugged." And then they let them trip balls. CIA, you're doing great. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 job. But Frank Olsen had a really bad trip from the LSD, and he developed schizophrenia. So the CIA was like, "Hey, we'll get you help. We'll take you to New York and get you help." So he goes, and he's staying in this hotel, and there's a CIA employee in there with him, and he calls down, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna need a wake-up call in the morning." But he didn't need the wake-up call because at 2 a.m. he fell out of a 10-story window to his death. The CIA claimed that it was an accident, but when the investigation started, they changed their story. They said that he had been suicidal for a really long time now, and that he committed suicide. But Frank Olsen's family thought differently. So the CIA gave them a settlement, invited them to the White House to meet Gerald Ford, the president at the time. After the CIA trying to buy their silence, they're like, you know, you gave us money, you took us to the White House, but you killed our family member. You gave him LSD, let him lose his mind, and then either let him commit suicide or killed him. Frank Olsen's family had his body exhumed, and there was evidence of foul play, but the CIA still let it play off. And Frank Olsen's death is still unsolved. After the program was shut down in 1973, the head of the program, Dr. Sidney Gottlieb? How do you say his name? I don't know how to say this guy's name. Gottlieb? Dr. Sidney G. admitted after 2 decades of torturing people, drugging people, and just completely unnecessary experiments that likely costed over $10 million. The experiments were completely useless. It's just insane. It's insane that the CIA had this whole program where they were doing experiments on citizens because they were trying to catch up with Russia. Bam. MKUltra is just a great conspiracy theory. It started out as a conspiracy theory and then it turned out to be true. People were thinking, oh, is the government doing mind control experiments? And then they were. It's just crazy. Well, thank you for watching my video. Subscribe for more Talk Tuesdays and come back on for a serious Saturday. I'm thinking about covering the Sauter family disappearances or possibly Roanoke. I'm not sure. Let me know down in the comments below what you want to hear Saturday or possibly next Talk Tuesday. Just let me know, girl. Let me know. I'm gonna eat a taco. Tasty. This is a surprise taco because this taco is a meatless taco. It has potatoes instead of meat, and it's delicious. It's delicious, especially when you dip it in some nacho cheese. Bye!
That I'm at an all-time low.